All right, let's now get reaction from Princess Majola, the coordinator at the Assembly of the Unemployed, who is part of Cry of the Excluded. Princess, good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight here on In Focus. Firstly, do you think the President should be allowed to address the nation on Thursday? Princess, if you can hear me, do you think the President should deliver the State of the Nation address on Thursday?
Oh, hi. Representing the people who are unemployed, I don't think the President should be allowed to address the nation on Thursday or on each other day before the President comes to address the issue of the high unemployment rate.
And what do you want the President to say around the issue of high unemployment?
Basically, right now, we are fighting for the BIG. This is not a new thing to the government. This is something that has been long debated about, a topic that they have parked and shelved it somewhere after 1997, when it was first introduced in the white paper on social welfare. So, from 1997 to 2023, it has been a long time. So the President should really, before addressing the State of the Nation address, should really come to unemployed people who elected him to power, and come to talk to the unemployed, the poor working class, and tell us when will he implement the BIG.
And how do you see the basic income grant assisting the country as far as creating jobs? Because the President would likely point to what he's already pointed to in his review, the 350 social relief of distress grant, saying that has been extended and that certainly continues. It might not be the basic income grant, but it is a start and it is something.
I always had a problem with the President saying that, or the Minister of DST, Ms. Newzroom, because the 350 social relief of distress grant was not a grant that was actually given to people because people in South Africa were facing poverty or starvation. But it was an SFD grant that was given due to the pandemic, COVID-19. So now the government is shifting blame. The government is actually brainwashing the people as if that SFD grant was given because they were feeling and seeing the need that people actually needed a grant that will aid or assist them in curbing the poverty that we are faced with and the high unemployment rate. Whereas we know that that's actually them trying again instead of implementing things that they should have implemented and making promises that they are not fulfilling. So that now dodging and diving and just wanting to extend the 350. I mean, it's still an insult to unemployed people or to the poor working class to extend the 350 and make it 667. What do you do with that?
Now, Princess, the Net Joint says law enforcement has been deployed to key areas around City Hall and that precinct to minimize potential disruptions to society. What is your plan? I mean, seeing that law enforcement will be so heavily on the ground.
Pardon, I didn't get you. I didn't get you very clearly.
I'm saying law enforcement is going to be so heavily on the ground deployed around the City Hall to minimize potential disruptions that your formations could probably bring to the State of the Nation address. Do you have a plan around that?
Sometimes I feel pity for the law enforcement men and women because they are also in the same fate. They are public workers who are also being degraded and getting low wages or low salaries. So I don't see them, and I actually don't understand why they get to fight or kill, because normally they use rubber bullets that kill innocent people who are protesting non-violently. Because this protest these mass actions that will be done, these occupations that will be done by the poor working class, those actions will be non-violent actions. So if we come to a place or we occupy one of the government places, offices, we are doing that action or that protest or the picketing non-violently so. So if we are in the same predicament as the law enforcement men and women, why instead of them joining us, they are fighting us? They are not the enemy here. The enemy is the people we put in power, which is the president and his cronies.
Princess Majola of the Assembly of the Unemployed is the coordinator. They appreciate your time and thank you very much for joining us tonight on